So one of the things about filming lectures, conferences or seminars is you're in a room like this where the lighting's not so great, or even they may turn the lighting right down, and they might do that after you start recording. A speaker may come up here and go to the control panel and actually switch the lighting down, or go to the switch on the wall and switch it down so they can see the slides a bit better. Now, if you filmed a lecture, you probably have had that happen to you. So one of the things you can do is use an LED light like this. This is a pretty good one actually, made by Rotor. It's the Rotor Neo. There's a link below to their website so you can find out more about it. But it's compact, it's battery powered, it can also be mains powered. And if you're filming a long lecture or any lecture, you need to make sure that you've got enough battery power. Now, it's really straightforward. Some people put it on the camera. The only thing is I find if I put it on the camera, it's very distracting for the speaker because quite often the camera is close and it's right in their eye. So quite often I like to put on a lighting stand, get it up a bit high. I've got the barn doors which I added onto here so that the light isn't spilling around and distracting other people, and it can be a little bit more focused on what you want. But if I switch that light on, nice thing about this light is it kind of warms up just over a few seconds, so it doesn't go harshly in their eyes. And you can see it does make a difference. That's a bit too bright on me, but there you go. You can see that it's having some sort of effect. And what I do is I put it on a stand here, and you should always be careful when you're using lighting stands that they're out of the way so that people don't trip on them. I do actually use white or yellow gaffer tape, and I actually put it around the base sort of to highlight it. I do try and keep it out of the way. I might sometimes put bags and things around it as well. So one of the things you might need to do, especially if you're going to put it up high, because sometimes you want it higher so that it's out of the way, you can just maybe weigh it down with something. Sandbags are always good for that kind of thing, but then that's another thing to carry around. So just think about health and safety and actually doing that. So this light, and a lot of these do this now, is you can actually adjust the brightness of them as well. So you can actually knock the lighting down if it's too bright or turn it up. I've actually got two of these because sometimes in a big lecture theatre where I've got to be far away, I just want to light the presenter. That way it doesn't interfere with if they've got something on the screen up there, so if they're projecting their slides, it doesn't interfere with that. And this happens just all too often. And even if I say, please don't switch the lighting down, in the heat of the moment, the speaker's looking up there and they think, yeah, people can't see the slides, or there might be a comment from the audience, and they switch it down without realizing how much it affects the camera. So this does help. It won't necessarily fully light it up, but it does help quite a lot. So worth investing in one of these. This is the Rotor light. There are others. You can get them at very reasonable prices. If you are purchasing one, just check what sort of battery you're going to get for them. Sometimes, like this one, you use AA batteries, which you can get anywhere, but you might actually buy one that's a lot cheaper. Then you find out it needs a particular type of battery, like a Sony battery or a Canon battery that are used in those cameras, and then you might be spending a lot more on those batteries. So just think about that, have a look. That's always a good idea. These are always just good if you're filming anyway, and actually you can use these for photography too. So that's just one idea that you can use to help make your videos look a little bit better. If you're filming lectures in tricky lighting conditions, these can be very useful. So the other thing I just want to point out is sometimes lecture theatres have got windows. If it's in the evening, you've got a lot of light coming in, you might want to put one of these up because the light might go down outside sunset, and then suddenly it gets a bit darker and you might just want to have one of these handy. You might have it near the camera so you can quickly switch it on. But I do think putting it on a lighting stand does help. As I said, be careful, make sure that it's nice and safe. And as I said, putting it on top of the camera, just a bit harsh, and it can be very distracting for the presenter and also for any of the audience around. So that's why I like putting it a little bit out of the way.